Alright, hi everyone. This is FSU Joshua Fritz, the Officer of Recruitment and Training. Um, well, this is caucus map right now, and I'm facing an American army with my Prussian army over there, which is a little heavy on the cav. Before I start this commentary, I'm going to list off my units. I can't really see the American units, so there's no point, really. It would take too much time. And I have a battle to do, you know? Alright, so I'm going to start with my rifles. I have a basic rifle formation. It's 5 rifles with 1 militia to act as a bullet sponge if necessary. Going to my cav, I have 5 light dragoons, which are spread out, obviously, in 2 groups, in a 3 group and a 2 group, which I will use accordingly. And I have 2 Bosniaks, which are very good Lancer cav, which are hidden in the woods. Now, let's start this battle. I have no general's bodyguard, by the way. That's a rarity for me. So I'm going to run up my rifles, and I'm going to try and make sure that the American rifles can't move up without me seeing them, because that becomes a problem against very good players, because they tend to like, and for a very good reason, the fact that you can't see where their rifles are. Now, if we focus on the hill up here, this is the main strategy, or would have been if he was attacking. I'm going to make sure that the opponent cannot take hold of the hill and get the high ground advantage. Because if you get a high ground advantage, that means that you're actually going to be more accurate, because the ground is not going to be impeding your ability to shoot your enemy. Also, in the event of a melee charge, the one on the top of the hill will obviously have a great advantage and will almost surely win in a charge between any 2 units of the same caliber. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to move up my line infantry on this hill, and they're actually going to do a flanking maneuver, or I should say a partial flanking maneuver, and they're going to come at the American from an angle. I'm using that in a future tense, obviously, because I'm going to wait until my rifles come up and pin down the enemy. Speaking of the rifles, when you're outnumbered on rifles, which I'm pretty sure that I am right now, but I obviously can't tell, you always have a militia or an inexpensive unit to use to take up the fire from the greater amount of rifles. So essentially taking away the advantage. Yeah, I thought that would happen. The rifles of the Americans are actually being put, yeah. Obviously when I fire my rifles, I move them back behind my militia, where they cannot be directly shot by the American long rifles. My opponent apparently realized finally that I was going to take the hill and decided to walk over there. Yeah, that's just how smart this guy is. Look, and it'll even shoot my militia, the entire point of that. When I said I was outnumbered on the rifles, I'm pretty sure that I still am right now. But I think I might have evened it out with that stroke of good luck. He is going to try and flank me with 2 guards. I want a shout out to my recorder, by the way, Pistola the Great. He always gets good videos in. Pistola, if you could please zoom in on the 2 guards to my left flank. I'm going to show how you take out 2 guards with 2 line infantry, which are supported by light dragoons. Now, if you know that you're facing guards, you'll know that you're facing better infantry of a higher quality with higher morale and higher melee stats. So the question comes, what do you do when you're attacked by a guard and all you have is line infantry? By the way, he is supporting it with 2 long riflemen. No, 1 long rifleman, actually. and because of that, I'm actually going to engage one of my Lancer Cav on that side. Now observe. Cav, I think, is the most important asset. However, all are important. Yeah, okay, so it was two. I am outnumbered on rifles, but when I said that, I didn't realize he would have two with his guards coming around. So here's a way to take out the American long rifles, or any rifleman really. Now, you have your line infantry come in range if there's riflemen between your men and the enemy line infantry. And when I say line infantry, I can refer to guards as well. You quite simply just have them fire, and the enemy guards can't fire at you because they're not in range yet, but you'll still easily take out those long rifles. It's like they're not supported by line infantry at all. It's pretty simple. So now what happens is he chases after these line infantry, right?
User was moved to your channel. Joined your channel.
Yeah, he puts down some fire on my light dragoons, but that doesn't really mean much because the light dragoons can just easily retreat. The point of this was to occupy the dragoons, the guards, excuse me, so my line infantry could reload. And since they're Prussian line infantry, they have a rather decent reloading time. So I'm actually going to, paying attention to this a little bit more than before. Notice the Lancer Cav that is going to be coming around the back here. See, the Prussian line already reloaded. It has a reloading skill of 35, which is actually 10 greater than almost any counterpart to it. However, I believe the Ottomans have the same reloading skill. So what happens is you just pressure one unit of guards over and over and over again, and you have to essentially keep hitting it, but retreat every single time. And if you do this, by the way, here's my Lancer Cav coming in to disengage. It has a great charge bonus. It has regiments of horse, so I'm going to go square right here. With the Lancer Cav, it's good to note that your only advantage with Lancer Cav is obviously the charge. So one second, I'm gonna have to diverge my attention to my right flank for a second. Yeah. Okay, it was nothing. What happens is that if you have this specific grouping of units, a light dragoon, a Lancer Cav, and two line infantry, you can easily match guards and rifles. You don't even need rifles. That's the thing. Because guards only platoon fire, which means they fire 3 at a time. But if you can run up your line infantry in about, I'm not even going to say like a quarter, I'm going to say like half, probably less than that, but it takes so much less time for a line unit to fire, and you can just retreat them, that you can completely outdo any guard unit that you're fighting upon. However, obviously, if they don't attack you like this man is doing right here, it's not mattering much if you retreat them. Even if the guards melee you, they still only have rifles to back them up. So if they melee you, then just send send your melee cav and take out the rifles, and send your light dragoons and shoot the guards in the back.
User joined your